when I was growing up, I absolutely loved the Planet of the Apes films. The original ones. There was five altogether, and then I didn't think that if you're familiar with the storyline, it's kind of a circular storyline, the time travel kind of element to it. And I always thought that story was incomplete. So when I was younger, I wrote two sequels to the original five Planet of the Apes as novels, and naively, I actually sent them off to blinking agencies and things, trying to get them published. I was like, what the hell was I thinking? It was obviously copyrighted material, and I was trying to get like two books published as sequels, which obviously, this is going back in the day when I was just a young lad, shall we say. But like, so the first one was called Empire of the Apes, and then I wrote a sequel to that called Epoch for the Planet of the Apes. When I was younger, my sister had a book which she'd borrowed from a friend, which was the Flowers in the Attic book series. I got well into that author's books, and I read loads of her series, and that was kind of one of the inspirations for me when I started out writing. So I was going to write my own kind of book series. Like some of the series I actually used to write was like there used to be like 5 books in a series. There used to be like 4 books and then a prequel. So I did that, and my first one. This is the first one, which is 341 pages long, and it's all just typed up on a typewriter. It was back in the day. I didn't have a computer, and I used to type on a typewriter. I used to do handwritten stuff, so some of the stuff I'm going to show you is actually handwritten. This was about a young girl who was living by herself, and there was just some creepy elements going on. She lived in like this secluded like house, like kind of beach hut, and there was like lots of different things kind of going on with a local farmer and this, that, and the other. But it was all about family and family trees and family history and secrets that were hidden in with that family history. And it was kind of she kind of found out all of these different secrets about who she was and where she came from. So if you've seen kind of Flowers in the Attic, it's kind of similar to that, where it's like all those family secrets, and there's incest and all that kind of stuff. So I was trying to write something very similar to that, to the Flowers in the Attic kind of series. So let's have a look. So this one, let's have a look. This one was actually a film script. So I was a big fan of the film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they also made a prequel to that as well, Butch and Sundance, the early years. And I wrote 2 scripts using kind of similar characters to Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, but this was like an action adventure kind of heist kind of movie, and it was more or less the entire film was like a chase sequence where this police officer was chasing these 2 people like across cities and across county lines. It was based in America, and it's pretty similar to the way that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is. It's kind of almost like a chase movie where they're being chased by this posse across deserts and mountain ranges and all sorts of stuff. So it was pretty similar to that. But I also I'm going to read some of these letters because I've got loads of like rejection letters from companies, like dated from this one's 1992. So I'm going to have a look at some of these letters as well and let you give you the feedback of let you know what the feedback is that I got from those people back in the early 90s. So speaking of rejection letters, this here is an envelope of loads of rejection letters that I had from agents, production companies. I think that I was trying to sell either film scripts to or book manuscripts to. So I've got all of these. I've got all of these that date back like to the early 90s, mid 90s. So I'm going to read some of these out for you. I'm going to show you some of these letters to see what they actually said about my work. So this is the second book, which is written over 4 kind of A4 pads, handwritten. And this is the second book in that series that I was writing that was kind of off and on like Flowers in the Attic. So that's the second book. Let's have a look at this one. This is the third book in that series, and I've just made some notes at the back there. I've actually planned to do 6 books potentially. What is interesting actually is that I actually did these little kind of floor plans of different houses that where the story was going to take place. So you can see there's like this was going to be, I think this was going to be like a big farmhouse kind of country house. So you've got a ballroom and a servant's kitchen and dining room, study, library, games room, just like little inserts of notes and that I put into there. And it's just like chapter 1. So you can see it's all just roughly handwritten. And what I would do is I would kind of type this up afterwards on the typewriter once I'd had it written all out.